Well, good morning again. Tom from Davison Orchards out here in a newly planted field of tomatoes, and we have had just a really busy last 10 days taking the tomatoes, peppers, melons, all these crops out of the greenhouse where they started and getting them planted out in the field. And we have a great technique for doing that, and you're going to see that in the video. We were able to put in literally thousands and thousands of plants in just a few days. And it's very exciting because the weather is great for the new transplants and they're getting off to a fabulous start. So the plants are coming out of the greenhouse where they were started back in February, and of course in a controlled environment, and then we move them out into the field, and it's a bit of a shock to the plants, so they often take a few days to kind of get established. You can see how the guys can take the plants out of the trays as they're moving up with the planter, and they're placing them in holes that are being punched through our plastic. And we talked about that in a previous video, how we use the plastic mulch. Irrigation water is underneath the plastic, but as the plants are being planted, they also are getting a drink. So you can see as the wheel goes around, there's water in that, and it's punching a hole and putting some water right into the hole, and then the guys are placing the plant into the hole in that nice moist environment. And the plants love it. They get off to a fabulous start. So this is our process that we go through for planting our crops. It takes us from fields of just empty fields just a few weeks ago to the plastic and the irrigation, and now all planted and looking forward to a fabulous crop. And if you're planting some vegetables at home, just a little tip, because of course when you pull them out of the tray, they're going to look like this with the beautiful roots. But when you plant them, don't plant them just as deep as they were in the tray. Plant them much deeper. So when we are putting them in the ground, they're going to be planted up to where my fingers are, and that part of the stem, once it's in the ground in the moist warm soil, it will send out even more roots and get the plants off to a better start. So when you're planting in your gardens, make sure that this pouch that the plant is being taken out of is below the soil level. We are here in our pepper planting. We're all finished planting peppers already. We plant them a little closer than the tomatoes, because they're more of an upright plant. But you also notice this funny thing here in the middle, which is actually basil. And so what we found a number of years ago, we struggled to control aphids in our peppers. And if you have that issue in your garden at home, aphids don't seem to like the smell of basil. Of course, basil has a very strong aroma. So anyway, we took to planting basil randomly in our peppers, and that was the end of our aphid problems. So you might want to try that one. Good luck with your gardens, and we're looking forward to harvesting a lot of great vegetables in the season ahead.